We'll move on with a look at some of the top headlines in the French newspapers this Thursday, starting off with politics. Alison Sargent's joined me to take a look through those stories. Hi there.
Hi, Kat.
We're going to start off with one of our top stories in our main news bulletin, a reaction to this perhaps surprise centrist alliance between Emmanuel Macron and the leader of France's original centrist party, François Bayrou.
That's right. François Bayrou ended weeks of suspense yesterday when he made this announcement that he will not be running in the election. That's a departure. He'd become quite a fixture in French politics. He'd run in the last three. This would have been the fourth. Instead, he is giving his support to Emmanuel Macron's En Marche movement, and they're forming an alliance. They're hoping to reign over what we can see what Libération is calling the Middle Kingdom, l'Empire du Milieu. It's a riff on a popular nickname for China, so it's to suggest that they're hoping to be very powerful. Libé says that this is a bit of a power handoff, but neither of the two really want to see it that way. Bayrou doesn't want to acknowledge that it's the end of his political career, and Macron doesn't want to be seen as being part of an existing legacy, because as we know, his movement is all about being in rupture with traditional French politics.
Well, quite, and this story is on the front page of almost every single French newspaper this morning, bar the sports newspaper. What are some of the others saying?
So for the Catholic paper, La Croix, it's an original alliance. French politics has never seen anything like it before. The paper says that Bayrou's experience could help beef up Macron's program, so that could help out the two of them. Meanwhile, Le Parisien, though, is wondering, is two really better than one? They say that this is a marriage of convenience. It's not really about passion. Macron risks ruining his image of youth and renewal, and for Bayrou, this was really a sacrifice that he wasn't dying to make.
It is certainly going to shake up the campaign, though, whatever the papers think of it. Speaking about what Bayrou himself has been saying, he's presented this choice as a sacrifice. He's doing it in order to fight the rise of the extreme right. Some papers not totally convinced by that message, though.
They're not. François Bayrou has not exactly been at the top of his game lately, and L'Opinion says that we cannot forget that. Bayrou may have been making some kind of grandiose, self-congratulating remarks about self-sacrifice, but his Modem party was facing flagging support, so few that according to the cartoonist Kak, they could all fit into a phone booth. So when we see in this cartoon, Bayrou is saying there to his party's vice president, we might as well join Macron, where we were going to be out of meeting rooms anyway. And the meeting room he's talking about is, of course, that phone booth that is getting it dragged away.
Oh dear, phone booth. It's not a very glamorous reference, is it? Macron and Bayrou, both sort of surprises in this election race. Much like their alliance. It seems that they individually didn't always get along with each other.
They didn't, and Bayrou had often criticized Macron, and our colleagues at France Info have put together a little list of just a few of the zingers that Bayrou has thrown at Emmanuel Macron over the years. We've pulled out a few for you. This first one says he's behind the hologram. Macron is saying about Bayrou that Bayrou is saying about Macron that behind the hologram, that hologram being Macron, there are huge financial interests making an attempt to grab political power. Then we can move on to the second one, where he says, I don't see myself in the ideas Macron incarnates. His social policies are close to what Nicolas Sarkozy defended in 2007. So there are some words from Bayrou that are not very positive on Macron,
to say the least. Well, just looking at the other candidates in the race then, because this would make a little bit of a shift potentially for the others. You've got Benoît Hamon on the left for the Socialists, François Fillon on the right. Good news, bad news for them?
Bad news, for the most part. Le Figaro, which is the right-wing paper, we have to remember, is quite saddened by the alliance. They say Bayrou has again chosen the left. A reminder that in 2012, he chose to support François Hollande over Nicolas Sarkozy in the second tour. The Figaro has some rather harsh words for Bayrou. They call his alliance with Macron an alliance of two weaknesses and say he's trying to run after an influence that he no longer has. Meanwhile, there's a good drawing, a good cartoon in Libération by Willem that shows Hamon and Fillon getting ready to go downstairs in an elevator. So they're descending, and their bellhop there, you might recognize him. It's Nicolas Sarkozy, a nod to his new job on the board of directors at Accor Hotels. And he's asking the two of them going down, and they say, not as far as you.
Ooh, very neat, very mean little cartoon there by Willem in Libération. Thanks very much, Alison Sargent. I'll be back later on looking through the international papers as well. Time for a short break. We'll see you in a couple of minutes' time.